In association with Official Wrestling comes A Few Good Marks podcast. And welcome to this special episode of A Few Good Marks. I am your host Kieran, and I'm joined via satellite from Coventry. It's our resident New Japan Buffin, it's Candy!
Hello!
So we hope the audio quality... We've done this before and the audio wasn't too bad, so...
No, it's alright. I think we've done 3 New Japan shows.
4?
2 of them have been by satellite.
3? 4? Oh, we've done 4. Have we done 3?
Oh yeah, we have done 4.
Yeah, 4.
Okay. In which case, this will be the second of 4.
The second. So it's not too bad. But anyway, bloody hell, G1 Climax 2018. Wow, just wow.
Heck of a tournament.
This is my first sort of full year watching New Japan, and this tournament has just cemented. Going back and I'm just watching everything, keeping up to date with everything now. I'm hooked.
Good to hear. Yeah, I did. I followed along with last year's G1, but I didn't watch many of the matches. This is the first one where I kind of sat down and I was like, right, 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning, I'm going to be there for the live shows and I'm going to watch along.
Which how many of them did actually happen? Did you actually watch them live? How many?
I'd say about half.
That's
live.
Pretty good. That's pretty impressive. I don't think I managed to watch any of them live, but I have seen. I think I managed to see a little bit of every day.
Yeah, I've read this morning. I think there were 91 matches in the entire G1.
Jesus.
I would say I watched, I don't know, maybe 70 of them. I'd guess. I didn't watch them all, but I'd say I definitely watched the majority.
That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched that, and not even 70. I would say I've watched about. I'd say I've watched about a third.
I watched all of Kenny's matches, and that was it.
No, there you go. That's I'm not sure if there was a single person I watched all. I mean, maybe Ibushi and Naito. I watched all of them on. Anyway, let's cast your minds back to the 14th of July, practically a month ago. A month ago to day one of the G1. So what we're going to do is we are going to quickly run through every single match. Some of them we'll have a lot to say on, some of them we won't. But hey, let's do it anyway. Strap yourselves in. So, first one up, straight out the gate, is Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Minoru Suzuki. Jesus. What a starting match. Did I watch this? Did I have a note on this? I don't think so. I saw. Oh no, I do. Yes, I do. My one note, because normally for A Few Good Marks and that, I'll have a match and I'll write points and I'll do stuff like that. But it was just there's so many matches, I'm not going to be able to do that for everything. So for a lot of my notes, they're just one words, 2 words.
Yeah. So my a sentence.
So my
per match.
Yeah. So my Suzuki Tanahashi feedback was really good. Really
useful to look back on a month later.
Exactly. But fortunately, got the good old Dave Meltzer rating system in front of us, and he rated this one 4.5, and it's not hard to see why. This
was the match where Suzuki basically had Tanahashi in leg locks throughout the entire match.
Yes.
And we thought it would cause a knee issue throughout the entire tournament. It didn't. It only lasted a couple of days, which makes sense.
But it did come back in the fight. Oh, that's just... Well, I mean, if you're listening to this, you'll know the result of the G1, so... At least I hope so. Otherwise, spoilers.
Find out the G1 winner.
The what?
Maybe they'll listen to this to find out who won the G1.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you are, that's brave.
Spoilers. Tana might have made it to the finals.
Yes, spoilers. But that did come up in the final with about the knee stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were genuinely going to carry it right the way through, but I can't remember it being a massive plot point for most of his matches going through.
It was for the Jay White match he had on night 3.
Yeah.
But after that, it slowly went away. this match also had the most ridiculous dragon screw I've ever seen. It was like he did it the wrong way, like an inverted dragon screw.
Right.
And it looked like he'd legitimately ripped Suzuki's knee off. It was pretty gory.
Ow. Oh, Suzuki, man. He's an absolute god. He's brilliant. Next up was Togi Makabe versus Yoshihashi. Did you see this?
Probably.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, I skipped most of Yoshihashi's matches.
Yeah, I think this would be a good point just to kind of put out. Like I think there was a couple of people when they came out that I was just like, I'm not that bothered about these people. Like, I guess it's like when you watch a show like Dominion and Wrestle Kingdom, you sit through the entire thing and you will sit through certain people, and that's the time for people to make impressions on you. Unless you're really dedicated and you're watching all these matches. But yeah, whenever Yoshihashi, I don't think I watched a single of his matches.
Well, the weird thing is, like, on this first night, the commentators were kind of putting him down, if that makes sense.
Right.
They were like, why is Yoshihashi in the G1? Like, why isn't someone like Taichi in there? Why doesn't he get an opportunity to prove himself? But at the same time, I've not watched many of his matches, but I've heard that a lot of them have been really good, like well better than anyone was expecting.
Fair enough. Well, this match, opening match with Togi Makabe was only rated 3.5, but we'll see as we go on.
To be fair, 3.5's not bad.
No, true. It's pretty much, it's half, really, isn't it?
No. Well, half of 5 is not 3.5.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, from what, well, I mean, Meltzer's giving out more than 5 now, so it's, you know.
That's true. Yeah, it's half of 7.
Exactly,
so yeah.
It's half of his highest rated. So it's half of what we know the scale at least goes up to at this point. So yeah, take that. Anyway, Michael Elgin versus Evil, rated 4 stars. Do you see this? Remember this? I don't think I've got this down. I don't have this down.
I definitely watched it, but it was a month ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But these are two more where they were like Evil and Elgin. I probably watched half their matches, skipped the other half, but I like both guys. They are good workers. And Elgin's another one like Yoshihashi. I didn't watch many of his matches, but I've heard that a lot of them were really good, well better than anyone was really expecting them to be.
Yeah, I watched a couple of Elgin's matches, and they were pretty decent. They were very enjoyable. But I don't know, he's not the type of worker that I gravitate towards. Or something. I don't know. I feel like he'd work better as a heel.
Yeah, maybe.
But we'll see.
Like he's got the look. He's well built, obviously, and he can throw the big strikes.
And he's a very stiff.
When he's going up against but when he goes up against a guy like Suzuki, who also throws strikes, or Makabe, who also throws strikes. Like even though Suzuki is probably like half the size of him.
Yeah.
Suzuki just has the demented look where his strikes look more vicious than the huge Elgin.
Agreed. So the next up one, we can definitely talk about this because this was sort of a big talking point especially on day one, was Kazuchika Okada against Jay White, rated 4 stars. And holy shit, Jay White won. I think we saw it. I think me and you saw each other a couple of days after this, and we were just like, "Have you seen the results? What the fuck's going on? The world is ending." Yeah, man. Like Jay White had an incredible start to this G1.
I'd say he had an incredible G1, really.
Very true. Very true.
He was in it to the final day, and we were legitimately thinking, Jay White could be main event in the Tokyo Dome here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like going to having a half-assed match against Tanahashi last year's to go into main event it is quite the push. But this match was really good.
This was everyone kind of had themes, if that makes sense, throughout the G1 or stuff that they would do consistently. Jay White's was. And I quite like it. It's quite clever. It brings 2 chairs into the ring so that when the referee gets rid of one of them, he can just go pick up the other and use that while the ref's getting rid of the other one.
Yeah.
And this was another one. I think he hit Okada with a chair, hit Blade Runner, and pinned him. And he did that quite a bit. And did you see his post-match comments for a while?
No.
He'd always, I think about night 4, he started asking for a chair to be brought for him backstage.
All right.
So he could sit down after his match. And it was probably about 10 nights where he didn't get a chair. And in the end, he just grabbed one of the female, camera women.
Yeah.
And, held her, around the neck. And he was like, get me a fucking chair next time.
Jesus.
And then the next night, they brought him a chair. And he didn't sit in it.
Oh, that's brilliant. See, but the thing is, he's such a heel, but he's in Chaos. This doesn't make sense.
I know.
Get him in friggin' Suzuki-gun. Jesus.
But his thing when he joined Chaos was that he was in it for himself. He just needed backup. He has to be in a group.
Yeah, I guess so.
He wants to go after the champions.
I guess.
At the end of the final night, he was in a tag match with Ishii, and Ishii, we'll get to it later, has earned himself a heavyweight title shot.
He has.
And Jay White took the microphone from commentary, and he was like, this is what I like. He's going after what he wants. He wants the championship, so he's going after it. This is what Chaos should be like.
Oh, there you go. Well, we'll see what happens. The only other match on the page was something we did actually point out in our preview podcast of day 1. Bad Luck Fale versus Hangman Page, the Bullet Club OG versus Bullet Club Elite, the first meeting. I again don't think I have any no notes on this one, but something I've kind of realised, Bad Luck Fale, I've just not warmed to him at all.
Right.
From starting to watch New Japan, it's he's this big guy, and he's don't get me wrong, he's huge, and obviously I'm not disputing his power, but he's just another big guy. You know what I mean? There is nothing about him that separates him from someone like Big Show or Carly or Kane.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Kane's a bad example though, because Kane is phenomenal, but there's no, you know what I mean? He's just a big dude.
Yeah, he's not the best worker. And when you're in New Japan surrounded by the best workers in the world, it kind of shows through.
Yeah, absolutely.
But an interesting note, Bad Luck Fale was never pinned or submitted during this G1.
Really? All his losses came from DQ?
Yeah, he won or he got DQ'd.
Fantastic. That was sort of let's touch on this now, because this was a big story going through. Was the Bullet Club OG's interference in both Bad Luck Fale and Tama Tonga's matches, and even in Kenny and Ibushi's matches at one point,
and the Yano match as well.
Yeah. Oh my word, we'll come on to that. But this was just a really big sort of thing going through, and out of all of it, Tama Tonga, who we said we'd touch on in the preview, and we never actually did, because I've just listened back to it. Tama Tonga
talk about him and then go off somewhere else.
Yeah, I can't remember who we ended. I think we ended up talking about Hangman Page instead. But Tama Tonga has come out of this G1 as the biggest heel in that company. Mm-hmm. He is hated, and it's easy to see why.
Even to the point where now it seems like his heel work is they've worked themselves into a shoot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's acting as a heel, but he's pissing people off so much that they're now starting to take actions against him in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. But even then, that could still be a work as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's blurring the lines so well, and that is what a good modern day heel should do, and he is doing it to the best. It was it was the last night before they went to Badugan.
You mean Budokan?
Budokan, that's the one. I was trying to be really fancy with it, and it just didn't happen. It was the last night wherever they were, and when he's coming down to the ring, and he spouted something like, "I'm a bigger star already. I don't need 5 more." something like that. I was like, oh, that's such a good line.
Yeah.
It was good. Moving on, so we can quite very nicely transition onto day two.
Wait.
Oh no! Oh god!
We haven't. I'm talking about Hangman Page.
Oh, of course.
In that match, I think this was seen for Hangman Page because it was his first G1.
Yes.
Like, kind of getting the Japanese audience used to him as a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
He does a lot of multi-man tags with the Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've only ever seen 3 singles matches with him in before the G1, and the Japanese fans really liked him.
Yeah.
And he was good, but like he was having a match, I think it was against Tanahashi, but they started cheering for Page.
Wow.
And like, they kind of set him up as, he's a much bigger star now than he was 4 weeks ago before the G1 started.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
So he didn't win many matches. He got, I'll tell you how many points he got, 1 sec. He got, edit this out, it's taking a while to load. I think he got 4 matches, he pinned Suzuki.
Yeah.
So that's a big win.
Absolutely, that's huge.
So yeah, I think that stands in quite good stead for the future of the company.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully we'll see a bit more. And of course, like this whole Bullet Club Civil War thing is only gonna... We'll see what twists and turns it takes as we head towards an inevitable blow-up at Wrestle Kingdom, it seems.
Yeah, he got 6 points.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all.
Nope.
So that's 3 wins, isn't it?
He'll be back in next year's G1, and he won't have anything to prove then. He's now another member of the roster.
Yeah.
So he can start working properly with the guys.
Oh, there we go. Now we can transition on to day 2. The first match was Juice Robinson versus Tama Tonga, who we talked about before. Juice Robinson had a very good G1.
In terms of good matches, because he didn't win any, or he didn't win many.
No, he didn't, but he did have good matches.
I think he lost about his first 5 matches in a row.
Yeah, and then I think he still ended on 6.
Yeah, he did.
Or something like that. But he was just having good matches, and the story around his hand...
yeah, that was good.
Which was very good. I like that type of booking, you know. There were some points where I think it was like the last night, and the Block B finals, and he just instantly just took his cast off straight away. It was like, let's go for it. Now to lose, yeah, fair play.
Yeah, he lost to Ibushi, Ishii, Naito, Omega, Zack Sabre, and Tama Tonga. So any of them could have a go at the US Championship match, or a shot at the championship if they wanted one.
I think. Well, this is the thing. There's a lot of we'll round this up on who gets title shots here and there. At the end, and we're back. We had a slight technical problem. So Candy is now say hello again, Candy, just so we can.
Hello.
So yeah, so he's now Candy's now talking to me via phone instead of satellite because of technical and other difficulties. But where were we? We're on singing Sonata's praises.
Absolutely.
So so coming into this, as we said, we kind of skipped over him because he wasn't going to win, and we knew that. But he had a hell of a showing. All of his matches were really impressive. His one against Naito was particularly good. His one against Zack Sabre Jr., oh my word.
Loved that match.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, fair play, Sonata. That was that he pulled out the bloody bag.
Yeah, I completely agree. We were talking about before about guys like Hangman Page or Yoshihashi. I think at the start of the tournament, I felt that way about Sonata, that I wasn't too bothered about. I'd watched some of his matches, but by the end, he was like, his matches were the ones I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've got to watch this, and the Sonata match as well, because he put on a great show throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, absolutely. He became Block B was the one to watch for me.
Oh, absolutely.
There's not really a weak in the entire field. There wasn't really anyone who was going to have a weak match.
No, I mean, only really Tama Tonga, because all of it ended in disqualification.
True, but even then there was a story behind them, so you were going to watch them to see what he did. So the opening night, Hiroki Goto and Sanada had a good match. That went for 4.25. Then I'm gonna skip to these to the final two matches of night 2 because we're out the gates already with our first 5-star match. Omega versus Naito. Good God, what a match!
Yeah, I've got some detailed notes for some matches. This one just says Omega defeats Naito in an amazing match. This match was unbelievable.
Insane. Insane is my note.
I can't say unbelievable because it's Omega and Naito.
Yeah.
It was defied expectations, maybe. It was better than thought it would be.
Yeah. Absolutely. However, it wasn't my favourite match of the night. Maybe whatever my favourite, and was my favourite match of this G1 for a long time, was Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. I loved this match.
I liked there was a symmetry in the match where the first 5 minutes were them trying to gain wrist control over the other, and the last the closing sequence of the match kind of mirrored it, where they were both had each other's wrists, and eventually Ibushi managed to turn it around into a Kamigoye.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, the match started and ended in the same way, and I really liked that.
Absolutely.
I also saw an image on Twitter of this match. It was Kota Ibushi, but he was wrestling an octopus.
Yep, that's our Zach, is it? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But we mentioned in the preview, the G1 preview, that Omega and Naito have never not had a 5-star match.
Yeah, and they pull it out of the bag once again.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. He's the best belt machine for a bloody reason. So we're on to day 3. Go through these. I'm just going to start going through. If there's any matches on these cards that I have watched, I'm just going to start mentioning them. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. So, so my next match that I had down is Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Jay White, and Jay White won again.
That's the match I've got written down first. Jay White pinned Tanahashi.
Amazing.
And it was after this point, after 2 matches, where I thought, hang on, he's going to win the A block.
Yeah, it was like you just pinned the 2 biggest Japanese stars in New Japan. You've just pinned the Ace and the Rainmaker back to back.
I mean, talk about getting a push.
Talk about getting over. My God.
Yeah.
The other one I've got down was Suzuki versus Maccabi.
Yeah. Two big hitters.
This was strong style to fuck. It was lovely to watch.
Because everyone kind of forgets about Maccabi. Maccabi is a former heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
And first in about 2009 and 2010, he was probably the top guy in the company.
Mm.
And then watching it now, you've got bigger names than him, but he can still go and he can still hit with the rest of them, especially Suzuki.
Absolutely. This match was really cool to watch. Did Okada suffered another defeat here, didn't he?
Yeah, he got hit by the bad luck fall and got pinned.
Yeah, so it was at this point that we were also like, oh, Okada, no!
This was when, midlife crisis Okada
kicked in. Yeah, absolutely.
He'd lost the title, he'd dyed his hair, he'd got rid of his robe, replaced them with balloons. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I know, it was, and as we saw, he just sort of started to evolve a little bit and was just coming a bit more. But the thing they talked about a lot on commentary was the relief of pressure. So he was a lot more, relaxed and stuff, but he was still trying to make people happy.
Yeah.
But I think that this plays into it quite well because it's like he's Now he's lost the title, and he thinks that that's what made people happy. Now he hasn't got the title. How else are you going to make people happy? Which is really sweet.
Apparently the answer.
The what?
Balloons is now apparently the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Love a good.
In his backstage, like his post-match comments, he would always ask, "What is 1 + 1?" And I thought he was talking about like the 2 punch you get in the G1 if you get a win.
Yeah.
Where it's actually like where we say cheese, like if you're taking a picture because it stretches your mouth and makes you smile.
Yeah.
In Japan, you say ni, which is 2. What's 1 + 1? 2. In Japanese, that's ni, and it makes people smile.
That's brilliant.
That's what he was trying to do backstage, get people to smile.
Oh, as if I couldn't love this man anymore. God.
The person who wasn't smiling was Rocky Romero every time he got hit in the face with a balloon.
Yeah.
I was so looking forward to Okada entrances just to see if he would hit Rocky with a balloon.
Which he did every time.
You know what? One time he did actually give him a balloon and let him hold on to it.
Oh, that's nice of him. Very nice. The next match I've got on my list is for some reason Zack Sabre Jr. versus Yano.
I also have that match.
It wasn't too bad. It was. I liked the story of Yano trying to match up to Zack and trying to do like the technical wrestling, and then just going, nah, screw this.
This isn't working.
Because he's all right. Is Yano? He's good.
I like that. At their match at Dominion, they have the spot where Yano went for a low blow and Zack caught it. And then it was in the G1 show in San Francisco. They did the same spot, but this time Yano rolled him up.
Yes.
And they did it again. Yano went for a low blow, but he caught it, turned it into a submission, but then he rolled him up again.
I know.
It's like a characteristic spot between the two of them.
Yeah, it's good, and it's good just to see where they're going to go with it. You know, if they end up doing it again sometime. But it was good. Next match I've got down is Juice Robinson versus Kota Ibushi. Pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, it was a good match. You had one crazy spot with Ibushi like balancing on the turnbuckle, like the back of the turnbuckle, which is like slightly rounded, and hitting a moonsault through the ringside barricade.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
It's like that could very easily have like gone off a bit, and he could have impaled himself on a barricade or just fallen off the turnbuckle. Yeah,
I do remember that one actually.
This was number 1 of Kota Ibushi's crazy G1 moonsaults.
You keeping count?
I've got a few more written down.
Oh, there was. I mean, they did just escalate, really, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was mad. Next up is Naito versus Ishii. Awesome.
Brilliant.
This match was awesome. This got 4.75, so 4 3/4 stars.
I would have given it 5.
Yeah, I agree. It was bloody brilliant.
I wrote it down as maybe match of the tournament, but this was night 4, so there was still a lot of matches to go.
Yeah, there was a lot of matches to go, including the main event, which was a 5-star match. Hiroki Goto versus Kenny Omega yet again. Good God.
So Ibushi had his crazy moonsault in the match against Juice.
Yeah.
Like, Kenny was not to be outdone on this front as he went for one off a barricade on like the bleachers.
Yeah.
The wooden benches that everyone was sat on.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy.
This match was bloody brilliant. It was just insane. So this was Kenny Omega's second match in the G1, and it was his second 5-star match.
Mm-hmm. It was also Goto's first ever 5-star match.
Oh, was it? Oh, I made up for him. Well, and then we'll get to that.
There was another brilliant spot in this Goto Kenny match where Kenny was going to go for a springboard. Like, he jumped onto the top rope and Goto just picked up a chair out of the crowd and threw it at his face. and the crowd booed him out the building for it.
Oh, God.
They wanted to see the springboard into the crowd.
Yeah.
Goto was having none of it.
No. None whatsoever. That match was... there was a lot more buzz about that match than there was any other, I think. I had a couple of people tell me that was the best match so far.
Yeah, I heard that.
Was Goto Kenny.
The Kenny versus Naito match over every replacing Kenny matches.
I mean, as I said, like the Ibushi Zack Sabre Jr. match was my favorite until like the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next match I've got down was Jay White versus Michael Elgin.
Okay.
Which was decent. I haven't really got much else to say about this. Can't really remember it. Turns out I did watch a Yoshihashi match because it was against Suzuki.
Oh, he got murdered, didn't he?
He did. He got slaughtered. So that's the only. That was the only one that I watched on that, and then I watched. What have I got down here? Bad Luck Fale versus Tanahashi.
Yeah, this match was
again
a
decent.
Bit mental with the finish with because it became the Bullet Club OGs versus Red Shoes for a while in the G1, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
And this was the first one where there was interference and Red Shoes was having none of it. So
yeah.
Showed the double birds, flipped them off, rang the bell and DQ'd Fale. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just a sign of, and it was a really good escalation from there on in.
And then the main event of that night, Okada finally got his first win.
He did against Hangman Page, and this match was really good.
Yeah, it was. I think this was another one where people really got behind Page.
Yeah.
As the underdog.
Absolutely. But I mean, when you're having, Go on.
Go on. No, you go.
I think that's also a credit to Okada as well, that he can have good matches with anyone.
Yeah. These matches were in Korakuen Hall, and I think Korakuen is it's known to be the place where they always cheer for the underdogs.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is where Page really got over because they really wanted to see an upset with Page over Okada, especially with Okada having lost his first two matches before. It could be another upset. It could be Page going over here. Yeah.
Yeah, especially given Okada's start. Next up, we had I've got Ibushi versus Yano.
Yep.
Good match. Crowd were really into it. Cannot believe Yano won.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, the crowd were really into this. It was mental.
Mm.
In fact, Yano removing turnbuckle pads got the biggest pop of the night.
I know, it was ridiculous. This got didn't get that many. Didn't get a decent rating, but it was.
Dave doesn't like comedy matches. You got to consider that in.
Well, I guess he is on about he's on more about the substance, and he's not about the style.
Yeah.
No,
there was a bit of
around. I don't know.
A bit of psychology in this match, a bit of psychology in the Yano match, where Yano taped Ibushi's wrists together.
Yes.
But because he's done that, he can't hit his finisher. He can't hit the Kamigoye.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Yano's taped his wrists, but now he can't hit his finisher.
Yeah.
Which was clever, but then Ibushi still hit a standing moonsault with his arms taped together. I thought that was ridiculously impressive.
It was, wasn't it?
Mm.
But yeah, the whole it was really good. Next up was Zack Sabre Jr. Against Sanada. This was Sanada's standout moment for me.
I said this might be my favourite Zack Sabre Jr. match ever.
It was really cool. Proper World of Sports style as well. Not in the fact that in the fact that they wrestled for a bit in the proper mat wrestling, but they just take a break every so often. And it was like they were doing it in rounds. It was just so cool.
Yeah, there was a bit where I think Zack went for a move, Sonata dodged it, and then he just kind of like went back to the corners.
Yeah, absolutely. It was such a nice touch.
But the reason I like this over like all Zack Sabre matches is because most of the time they're like 15, 20 minutes, and it's all his style, like submissions. But this was completely different because Sonata had counters to pretty much every single one of them.
Yeah, and it also kind of raised and this was another thing for me because like as I'll get to later on, there was a certain match where I was like, oh my god, who do I choose? Because Zack Sabre Jr. On our regular podcasts, I'm always one to sing the praises of the British lads, no matter where they are in whatever company. So naturally, I gravitated towards Zack Sabre Jr. and his style is so impressive and it's so. I want to say historic. That's not the right word to use, but you know what I mean. It's where it comes from. It's what?
It's retro.
Well, yeah, in a sense, yeah. It's a style you don't see very often, but it's an art form and a wrestling style that dominated for years, and even though some of the guys, Marty Jones and Johnny Saint, were on top of their game back then, Zack Sabre Jr. is quickly coming amongst those names that you have to mention when you talk about that old school style of British wrestling.
Yeah, even the Snake Pit in Wigan. Wigan got a shout out.
Wigan got a shout out in New Japan. It's brilliant. Brilliant. But the point I'm making is that seeing Sonata go toe to toe with Sabre Jr. in that style of match, having counters for everything, that's what kind of made me warm up to Sonata a lot more. It was like, whoa, okay, this guy's good.
Yeah, even still the old school style, this match ended with them like trading different pin combinations until Sonata eventually counted one pin into another pin, and that's how the match ended. It wasn't a big finisher or anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who can get a better pin? And I like that bit as well.
Who can wear the other man out? Do you know the psychology behind going for numerous pinfalls?
Does it wear the other person out?
Yeah, that's literally it. I think it was on an OSW episode, and even after you've hit your finish and they kick out and you go for a pin again and you go for a pin again. Yeah, that's the psychology behind it. So obviously doing these number of pin attempts, not only are you expending energy to pin your opponent, but you're also expending energy to kick out. And then eventually you're just going to get tired. And it's brilliant. But moving on, there was Juice Robinson against Tetsuya Naito. This was really good as well. Excellent.
I don't have any notes for this match, but I imagine it was good.
It was good.
I did watch this match and I did like it, and then I heard a lot of people saying like, "Oh, this was like really good." I was like, maybe I have to go back and watch it again. But I enjoyed the match, but I think in a night that had mental matches.
Yeah, true.
This was in the middle.
Yeah, it was.
The third match of the card had to follow that Zack Sabre match, and then later on you had like Ishii and Goto.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just an unfortunate night for it. I suppose.
Although big match, big old Dave Meltzer gave it 4.5, so it was rated higher than Sonata Sabre Jr., which only got 4.
All right, that was nice of him.
So yeah, absolutely. So that match was really good. But then we've got to talk Goto and Ishii. This was insane.
Romero called this the epitome of strong style.
He's not wrong, to be fair.
No. Like, this was just two guys who were throwing everything they had and just didn't want to go down for the other one.
No.
He's like, I'll take your headbutts and forearms, but I'm not going down. This is what this felt like. It was just two guys with big egos who just didn't want to, like, show weakness to the other.
Yeah, absolutely. This is brilliant. Also, I'd like to point out this is the third round, if you like, of action for Block B, and this is the third 5-star match.
Yeah,
for Block B.
And this is the one where we're saying Goto never had a 5-star match, and then he gets on with Kenny, and then 2 days later gets on with Ishii.
Ishii as well. Insane. That match was so good.
Ishii had a delayed superplex in this match.
Yes.
He got him up and held him there for a while on the rope before dropping him. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, absolutely not. It was insane. Moving on. I don't think I've got any notes for a while now. Not until Ibushi versus Ishii.
No, I've got notes for that night, but like night 6, like 7, 8, and 9, it's kind of like the middle portion of the G1 where it all kind of cools down a bit.
Yeah.
Like your big matches are kept till the end, and you had bigger matches at the beginning. So this is now just like the doldrums that you have to get through.
Absolutely, but though looking at the ratings, the Elgin and Yoshihashi got 4.25, which was the highest rated on day 7. Everything else was didn't get much higher than a 3 3/4. And then day 8, Juice and Kenny got 4.25. Ishii and Sabre Jr. got 4.5. And Sanada and Ibushi got 4 3/4. And I don't think I've seen it.
No, that's a good match, Ibushi and Sanada.
Okay.
I'll tell you the results. I mean, it might say it there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another upset where Ibushi's lost. I think this is like his second or third loss in a row.
You might be right.
And it was kind of like maybe Ibushi's not going to win the B block.
Yeah.
He's got off to a flying start, and then he hits all these setbacks and kept losing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's another like coming out party for Sanada, and he had a great match with Ibushi and picked up the win, so that makes him feel even more special than he did going into the match.
Yeah, absolutely. On to day 9. Jay White and Bad Luck Fale, they got a 1.5 rating. Was it that bad?
I think that was pretty much all interference.
Oh, okay.
Although it was interference, but like Jay White kind of fought them off a bit. But like the numbers game eventually got.
Numbers game.
It's like Jay White in his chairs against the Tongans, and the Tongans won.
Fair enough. I've got notes for this night. So this is day 10.
Yeah.
And what have I got here? So I've got Naito versus Goto. I got pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Just got pretty good. However, this night had Ibushi versus Ishii. And my notes on this was new favourite match, what a war. So this is...
I thought this match showed, because we're talking about Ibushi, I think this shows the greatness of Ibushi, that he can have... Like, he blends his style to who he's facing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he had the mental match with Yano, which was like all comedy. And then when he goes up against a strong style guy like Ishii, he can do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's such an all-rounder, and I'm just in. So I don't want to like gush on Ibushi because I know what's coming up. So there's a point where I'm just saving myself up on gushing on Ibushi just for now.
This night 10, like the first of the 3 back-to-back matches, which were like completely different.
Yeah,
I know it's about like WWE has its style, and it's one style, and all matches seem a bit similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this one it was Zack Sabre versus Tama Tonga, which was, well, obviously it's Zack's style.
Yeah.
And then all the Tongans get involved in this interference.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was a comedy match with Juice and Yano, which they were using turnbuckles like swords and dueling back and forth.
Yep.
And then you had the match with Ishii and Ibushi, which was completely different to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that shows New Japan's like diversity, and especially in the G1, where everyone has kind of a different style, and you can show that on a nightly basis.
Absolutely. Kenny Omega against Sanada also got the same rating as Kota and Ishii did. Both of those were 4 3/4 stars.
I don't have any notes now until night 14, so I don't know what you've got.
I think I'm the same. I'm just looking through, having a look at Day 11, there was nothing. Day... Did I watch Goto Ibushi? I did not. That's embarrassing. Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh yeah, this was
on night 12. Oh my god, what a match!
It's like this is another one where people aren't sure if it's a work or a shoot. Because they were mouthing off with each other like at the end of the match, which is kind of Zack Sabre's thing to do, calling people dickheads.
Yeah.
But like this one, like they were really going at each other. Like Kenny saying like his style is it's bad for the business, it's boring, it doesn't belong in New Japan stuff.
Well, I mean, I'd hope that's a shoot because that's just a big middle finger to the entirety of the UK and the entirety of our history. So I hope that's a shoot.
Could have been, probably was.
Not a shoot even. I hope that's a work. That's the getting me terminologies mixed up, folks. There's, it struck me the other day. There's so many different friggin' terminologies in the wrestling business. It's ridiculous. Oh, it's so annoying.
There's a whole Wikipedia page devoted to wrestling terminology.
I know, God. You know what the worst part was? I know I've mentioned this every other podcast, but was in my dissertation was justifying the or explaining wrestling terminology.
Yeah.
Throughout, just so that it made sense. And you have to
even something simple to us, like heels and baby faces.
Yeah, it's bad guy and good guy, innit?
That's nonsense. That makes no sense.
It's weird. But it is what it is. Match. I think I remember watching this. I don't think I made any notes though. Was Okada versus Suzuki?
Yeah.
This was good.
They went to a half-hour draw last year, so I was kind of expecting something similar. But it kind of ended a bit early.
Yeah.
As long as I thought it would be.
It was. It was very good. Day 14.
Yeah. Go for it.
Tetsuya Naito versus Kota Ibushi.
Yeah. Here's a note that I wrote down, and it's something to talk about. Naito, he hit his Destino on quite a few people in this tournament.
Yeah.
Who then kicked out of it.
Yeah, I thought this too.
Ibushi kicked out, and Goto kicked out. And he was hitting smaller ones, and usually they are kicked out, but full Destinos, 2 people kicked out of them.
Yeah, it's
and usually finishes are really well protected, especially top guys like Naito. So I'm wondering whether he's getting a new finisher or not.
Oh, right, okay.
Whether he's getting rid of Destino and replacing it with something else. I don't know. He might not be.
That's a good point.
I just thought it was interesting that 2 people kicked out in G1 matches.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when the bigger moves, the 2 that instantly come to mind, the Rainmaker and One Winged Angel, are unbelievably well protected, and feared, and that actually plays into especially One Winged Angel plays into the next match we're going to talk about. But yeah, that's a very interesting point, and I did pick up on that as well. That a lot of people were, and at some points, I can't remember what match it was, but I think he hit 3 in a match to finish it off. And it's like he's not trusting in his own move.
Yeah.
To finish off matches now. Maybe that's because people were kicking out of it, and he feels that yeah, exactly. Just to make sure that they're fully done. But as we saw, that sort of, although maybe I guess it depends on who you're facing, because as we saw in Okada and Tanahashi, Okada hit a Rainmaker, went for another one, and it didn't pay off. So could you have finished him off? Mind you, it is Tanahashi, but could Okada have finished it there and then without having to go for another one? But we'll come on to that. No, I want to talk. I mentioned the One Wing Angel playing into this next match because this next match is Tomohiro Ishii versus Kenny Omega. 5.5 stars.
And so it's well deserved. 5.5 sounds about right for this match.
This match was bloody insane.
It was brutal, but it was brilliant.
Like, Kenny's eye afterwards was just,
Kenny's lip still battered from it.
Yeah, they were saying that in his match against. Actually, they were saying. I'm pretty sure they were saying that in the finals, weren't they? When he was at ringside.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. Oh man, it was mental. This match.
Kenny was bleeding from the mouth, but I think Ishii was as well.
Yeah.
Both of them were just not holding anything back.
Absolutely.
I said this match I'd like to feel where this was the semi-main, like this was second to last, and then Naito and Ibushi went on last. I felt like they were trying to prove a point, was saying like, if you're not putting us in the main event, then we are going to have a main event match.
Yeah, absolutely. It was.
Yeah, they did.
Absolutely, and Ishii got the win as well, which was really cool.
Yeah, it was Kenny's first loss.
Really kind of set him back a fair bit. On to day 15, almost there. I haven't really got much on this night either, to be honest.
One match that needs mentioning. It was Kazuchika Okada versus Evil.
Oh, of course.
Because they had 2 matches last year, one in the G1 and one for the championship, because Evil won the G1 match.
Yeah.
And both matches were okay. There was nothing special. This match was, and at this point, it was Okada's best match in the G1. And Evil really brought it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, like, especially Evil and Sonata, it's really brought a sort of a danger to LIJ, because you now know both those guys are really good.
It's like they're a really good tag team anyway, and now you can see all the singles matches. I think that improves them as a tag team as well, because you know separately they're both dangerous.
Absolutely.
And both really good.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Sonata, we've missed an important match from night 14.
Oh, God.
It was Sonata versus Toru Yano.
Okay.
It was the one where Sonata puts him in a paradise lock through the barricade, and then Rocky comes and tries to help him out because Yano is in chaos, so is Rocky. So Rocky comes out to get him out of the paradise lock, but then Sonata just grabs Rocky, puts him in a paradise lock as well, and he puts his headset back on Rocky. Right. So he is on commentary yelling for help. He's going, help, and he's saying, get Milano 80 collection. Yeah. It's on commentary for the Japanese commentary. He invented the paradise lock. So he shouts get Milano, she's the only one who has the key. I think I do remember that, actually. I think I remember that. Yeah, it ends in a count out because they're both in a paradise lock on the outside of the ring.
Oh, God.
It was bonkers, but brilliant.
Excellent. That's why I quite like Yano being in it, because he's just kind of the relief.
Yeah, he is, and he also, if you think about it, he gives people a night off.
Yeah. It's
like Kenny had that brutal match with Ishii, and then the next match he gets to work with Yano, where he's taking suplexes onto padded cushions.
Yes, that was. Well, we'll just do night 15 really quickly. I don't think there's much to talk about.
No, other than Okada or Evil.
Yeah, pretty much. Tanahashi and Elgin had a 4-star. But yeah, so night 16. The Naito. Oh, actually, no, right. Yeah, let's do. So yeah, Yano and Omega.
Oh yeah.
So they put all these pads on the floor. He suplexes them onto it, and then Kenny's like, hang on a minute, that's actually nicer. It's just brilliant. Well played, lads.
But also, before this match happened, it was the Ibushi's last match against Tamatonga, when all the Tongans came to interfere. Kenny came down to help.
Yes, yeah, this was.
And Tangaloa hits him with a powerbomb. So when Yano makes his entrance, Kenny's still down. So he quickly just gets rid of all his stuff, does the quick checks that he's not got any weapons on him, and he goes straight for the pin, and I thought he was going to get it, to be honest.
Yeah, for that opening bit, I was like, he's actually going to... And then it was like, oh, he just kicked out. And then they had a pretty funny match. But then Yano fucking beat Kenny.
I so hope Yano gets a title shot now.
Oh, he has to, doesn't he? He has to. It'd just be brilliant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was the bit where he takes Kenny to Ren Narita, one of the young boys on the outside.
Yeah, that was right, and he
went for the count out there.
And he had to bring him in. I think it was brilliant. I think I remember this because it was like he brought the young boy in, and then like they clotheslined him or something, double clotheslined Yano, and then he managed to get the wrist tape off, and then he like praised the young boy, gave him a hug and that. And then as the young boy was getting out the ring, Yano attacked Kenny, and Kenny bumped into the young boy. It's like, well, you've had your 5 minutes, now take this bump.
And then he had the double low blow spot where Kenny was gonna German suplex Yano, but he grabs Red Shoes.
Yes.
And he turns it around and he low blows Kenny, but also catches Red Shoes on the way.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
This match was great, and then it ended with Tamatonga coming back out to interfere.
Yeah, for the interference, which was always going to happen, but...
also, this was, I wrote it down, the biggest G1 upset in history.
Yeah, has to be.
Kenny at the time was on 12 points. He'd only lost one match.
Yeah.
Yano was on 2.
Yeah, it's the biggest differential, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Insane.
So I really hope for a rematch between those two. And Kenny put on Twitter afterwards, I don't know if you saw it.
No.
About Tamatonga, and he said disrespecting the big dog and littering on train stations. I can forgive these, but ruining my once a year match with Yano is unforgivable.
Absolutely. It's his 1 year a night. It's one night a year he actually gets to have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the match last year was where they both ended up with their legs taped together, so they had to run the ropes by hopping.
Amazing. The main event of this show, which was the last. I think that this was the last one before they went to. You have to say the name of the arena again. Budokan. So it was Naito versus Sonata. It was LIJ versus LIJ. This match was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonata brought it to Naito, and they gave it back. It was good.
Did you see the post-match bit where Evil and Bushi came out and they had Hiromu's jacket?
I think so. Oh yeah. Oh.
Because the crowd started cheering for Hiromu, and I thought he was going to come out.
Oh, I'm so sad. Oh.
They did the 4-person, where they all put their arms in the middle.
Yeah.
He did that, and Hiromu put on Twitter he fist bumped his TV.
Oh, I'm broken. I'm done. I need to move on. I need to move on. I'm so upset by this. I'm so upset. Anyway, right. Moving on. Final night of A Block.
Yeah, we're now in Budokan. 17.
Apart from the matches that so there was Bad Luck Fale versus Minoru Suzuki, Yoshihashi versus Hangman Page, Jay White versus Evil, Togi Makabe versus Michael Elgin. I watched all of these, and they were okay.
Yeah.
They were okay. Now.
What? Because going into this night, Jay White could still win the A Block.
Ah.
I thought he was going to beat Evil, and then it would all come down to the final match.
Yeah.
And I was a bit shocked when Evil hit Everything Is Evil and pinned Jay White and took him out.
And it's gone. So now it's not a 3-man race, it's 2.
Mm-hmm.
Literally came down to the last match. And it was Hiroshi Tanahashi against Kazuchika Okada. Oh, Candy, take it away.
Well, I was genuinely looking forward to this match more than I was the main event of the next night, which was Omega and Ibushi.
Wow, really?
Just because I've seen all their singles matches, Okada and Tanahashi, since Okada returned from TNA in 2012, and there's never been a bad one. In fact, there's about 4, which could easily be my favourite match ever.
Fair enough.
Like, these two just have such good chemistry and such history that you can play off that as well. It's like with the Dragon Screws, that's kind of always been Okada's weakness against Tanahashi. He's never been able to counter the Dragon Screw.
Yeah.
And Tanahashi's always gone for the knee. And he's still doing it now, 6 years later.
I know. It's this match was insane. Obviously, it went to a 30-minute draw. And we touched on it earlier with the Okada hit a Rainmaker and went to follow up on it with another one, and it cost him.
Yeah. But he kind of often does that with Tanahashi, because Tanahashi's one of the I think only 3 people have ever kicked out of the Rainmaker.
Yeah.
And Tanahashi's one of them, so he knows that one's not
enough.
Same with Tanahashi in the high fly flow.
Right.
I'd say probably, I know 2 for definite, and I imagine Nakamura has kicked out of it during their feuds.
Right.
So I'd say 3 people have kicked out the high fly flow, and that's why he hits 3 or 4 or 5 in a match of Okada.
Amazing.
At the end, when he hits the one to the back, the high fly flow, and Okada kicks out and he goes to leave, and even I think Kevin Kelly says it on commentary, and I thought the same thing. I thought he was just going to leave the ring and bail up the ramp.
Yeah.
Just let time run out. But no, he was going to go for.
He was going to go for the win.
The match.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? And credit to him, and there's a reason that Tanahashi is still on top.
It's like this match, these are the 2 top guys in the company, and it wasn't even a split crowd. It was probably 90% for Tanahashi.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Tanahashi. If you seen when he after a match when he walks back up the ramp and people rush the barricade and give him the towels to wipe his sweat off, and then he hands them back. That's probably not been seen since Kerry Von Erich.
Yeah.
In Dallas. That's the kind of level of over that Tanahashi is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when he won this match and went to the final, and later on we'll get to who won the final, I was not surprised at all.
No, fair enough. It was coming into this, there was obviously some of the younger guys and people like Okada and Omega who I've seen, obviously the 2 that got me into New Japan, watching the great battles over 2017, and there was other people that I knew as well, and other people that I've grown to like. But Tanahashi was always someone that I knew, and I always knew how good he was. But it was that sort of how good actually are you? You know what I mean? Yeah. You hear all this hype about
legend of Tanahashi, but not actually seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was and it was in this match, especially these final 2 matches in the G1, where I was like, all right, yeah, I will bow I will hold my hands up, because who the fuck am I to say? Who am I to say otherwise? But I mean, yeah, there's a reason they call you the ace. And it's, I think that was another thing as well. It was with anyone in the world, I think that the same could be said for in nicknames wise for CM Punk, Chris Jericho, and AJ Styles. Best in the world, what I do, and phenomenal. And you want them to back it up.
Yeah.
So him being called the ace, it was that's a lot of praise. You know what I mean? You got to live up to this, and he has. Obviously, he has lived up to it. It's just me coming in so late to Tanahashi's career that I haven't quite got the respect's not the correct word, because obviously respect the hell out of him for what he's done, how long he's been on top of his game for. But there wasn't a belief, if you like.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, this match was insane.
Over the past year or so, he's had really good match. Like he had the match with Okada back in May for the title. That was an amazing match.
Yeah.
But he's also had other matches where they've not been as good as you expected, maybe, or they've been good, but yeah, not as good as expected. And if you go back and watch his earlier stuff, then yeah, he is brilliant. But now, again, he seems to have he's got back to that level.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also that they talk a lot. Whenever he goes into it, they're always talking about the Tanahashi pace, the slow style. It's like, like in modern wrestling, sometimes that's not what you want, but obviously it builds up to it, and then he starts hitting these big moves, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, this is okay. And a little bit at one point, we hit the high fly flow from the top to the outside.
Yeah.
I was like, where did that come from? That's insane. But yeah, this match was bloody brilliant. So yeah, on to day 18. The only two matches that counted at this point were Tetsuya Naito and Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi. Naito and Sabre Jr. went first. And these two guys have got a fair bit of heat between each other, haven't they?
Yeah.
They proper just do not like each other, which is, fine.
People seem to talk bad about Naito quite a lot, and Naito always seems to hear about it.
Yeah, they said this. They were saying, he reads everything, he watches everything. They just got this over that he's just ever present in New Japan and knows about the goings on, which is fair enough. That's a smart way to be. I'd be like that if I was in a company. Like, you want to, if anyone's saying anything about you or
going back and forth at each other, and like the whole thing with Jericho and Naito.
Yeah.
That all started like Naito saying about New Japan kind of like pushing the foreigners and stuff.
Yeah.
So like he gives as good as he gets, but there's always something going on with Naito.
Always. I think that's why he's just so good.
Yeah.
Because you can then use that in a match. And my favourite, I think this was my favourite, there was a lot of spots throughout this G1 where he would do a tranquilo pose, as he would, but he did it in so many different ways. This had to be my favourite one, where he hit a tranquilo pose and Sabre Jr. instantly locked on a triangle chokehold. Beautiful. Oh.
My favourite tranquilo pose, because he did it in front of Sanada. Like, it wasn't even after a move, he just kind of rolled over, hit the pose, and so I just drop kicked him in the face.
Yes. Yeah. I do. Yeah, I remember that one. That one was good as well. This match was really good. Obviously, none of the ratings are out for day 17, day 18, or day 19. We probably get them in the next couple of days, and we'll give them a share on the Facebook page when they do come out. But this match, I would expect, is going to be quite high.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a few high matches in these last few days. Especially Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi. I have two words on this. Holy fuck. This match was insane. I think this is probably my match of the whole G1. All right, okay.
Yeah, after interestingly enough, all of my favourite matches have had Ibushi in them. Yeah, first it was Sabre Jr., then it was Ishii, and now it's Omega. So
when I was making my top matches list, the same few names just kind of kept popping up.
Yeah, man, Kota was he was just on fire this G1. He was knocking out the park, but there was so many spots where it was, and you can tell the level of trust they have in each other to do the things that they do. And what was the crazy spot? The backflip into the knee stomp.
Oh yeah, that looked nasty.
Oh my god!
I thought maybe he hadn't fully rotated, but then they showed the replay, and I think that's just what he was going for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was like,
I've said that Ibushi has the best standing moonsault, and he's not going to mess that up unless he does it on purpose.
And it was pretty clear after the finals that it was done on purpose.
I want to go back and watch the match, Omega and Ibushi from 6 years ago, the one that got Ibushi banned from Budokan.
Right.
Because I think, his dives off the balcony, he did it against Ishii and he did it against Tamatonga.
Yeah.
He did that at Budokan, but I think Budokan's staging is considerably higher.
Oh, right.
And apparently, as you said, nothing's off limit, but whatever you do, you just can't do a move off that balcony.
And he did anyway.
So, of course, it's Omega and Ibushi, so they're right to the balcony. And that's why Ibushi was banned.
Oh, fair enough.
So that match must be absolutely mental.
That must be even more insane, yeah.
From a stadium, it must be crazy.
Fair enough. Yeah, it'd be like it'd be like Everton going to Old Trafford and everyone just taking the pants down, peeing on the pitch. You guys aren't ever coming back again, are you? Mm. But anyway,
I don't think we mentioned in the last match who won that Sabre versus Naito match.
Yes.
I was a bit disappointed that Zack Sabre hadn't really hit the Zack driver very often.
Yeah.
And then this match, he did it, and he won with it.
Yeah.
I was like, yes! Get in.
Absolutely. So then, of course, it all came down to Kenny and Ibushi. Interesting enough, in the same way that the last night had gone, if Kenny got the draw, he would go through.
Yep.
Ibushi had to win, same way that Okada had to win. But this time, Ibushi did get the win. I can see this match getting a 5 3/4. Definitely.
Kenny Omega's in it, so anything's possible.
I mean, it's at least a 5 minimum. Absolute bare minimum. This is 5 stars. And they're just eclipsing every expectation. But there you go.
There's so much pressure on these two to perform. This has been bigged up since they announced the schedule, especially with them doing it on the very last night.
Yeah, exactly. This was the match that everyone was waiting for. Everyone. And it and I mean, to use the pun rather sweetly, it climaxed perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. So your G1 Climax 28 finalists, Tanahashi and Ibushi. However, we are quickly going to run through the G1 Climax finals. How long have we been going? Wow, okay, so this is going to go for about 2 hours, this podcast.
Watch it in 2 parts.
Yeah, absolutely. So the G1 Climax finals, I skipped a couple of the matches at first. The first match I did see was Bullet Club versus the Juice Robinson and Dave Finlay. What part of the group are they called?
Oh, they're in Taguchi, Japan.
That's the one, Taguchi, Japan. So it was it wasn't a bad match, but the main thing to come out of it is after everyone in the G1. Actually, let's cover this because it feeds in quite nicely. After everyone in the G1 who has beaten Juice, Cody is also now throwing his name in to get a US title shot. Which brings us on quite nicely to just cover who is in line to get title shots.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean they will get them, but they're in line.
But they are in line. So obviously Cody is in line, and it looks like that's going to happen because he's been probably the most recent. But also Tamatonga, Ibushi, Naito, Omega, Zack Sabre Jr. and Ishii are all in line.
And Zack started going along because he beat Robertson and then he beat Goto, and both guys he took the title after the match.
Yeah,
and held it up.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if Zack Sabre Jr. is a title holder in New Japan come Wrestle Kingdom.
No, it doesn't surprise me either. I've just seen he got 12 points in the G1.
Yes.
So he got as many points as Ibushi, Omega, and Naito.
Yeah.
It's just that he couldn't win from his position.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually realise he was on that many points. So yeah, they clearly think highly of him. Plus, he won the New Japan Cup.
Absolutely. He's big things coming. Big things coming.
I love him with Taka Michinoku as well.
Yes.
They just have such a good chemistry between them.
It's good, isn't it? On the subject of the Neverweight, of course, you've said Zack Sabre Jr., Omega, Ishii, Naito, Ibushi, and Juice Robinson is also in line for a never open weight. But the three that are quite poignant, this is also to be brought up, the three people who did beat Kenny Omega in the G1 and are in line for a title shot are Ishii, Ibushi, and Toru Yano. Amazing. And I so hope Yano gets a title shot just for the banter that match would be.
I hope he does, but could you imagine promoting a major show and saying your main event is Kenny Omega and Toru Yano?
I mean, I know.
I just don't know if it'll happen.
We'll see. We'll see.
But Ishii's thrown his hat in. We're definitely getting Ishii Omega again.
Yes, we are, and I can't bloody wait.
And as for Ibushi Omega doing it again, I don't know, because Ibushi might just be like, oh, because we're friends, I'm not going to challenge you for the title.
Yeah, maybe.
So it might just be Ishii.
Yeah, maybe. And then of course we'll see what happens as it comes up. But Bullet Club OG are the new 6-man tag team champions.
Yes, I think that's good. I think they needed something.
Yeah.
Especially if they definitely come together as a team. Although having said that, it's not with Starlight, is it?
No.
It's with Taiji Ishimori.
Yeah, it is.
Who I was really happy to see back when he came up on the screen. I was like, oh, great, he's back.
Yeah, I was because I didn't know the card at all for this final night. So there was some couple of surprises that I was really happy about. Seeing my boy Marty Scurll was one of them. seeing the villain himself, popped a bit for that. That was cool. But the thing was the management, that they come out there and they say make this a title match. Then the champions say if you want this to be a title match, we'll make it one. The president is sat ringside. He goes, yeah, all right, title match. And then they win it, and he's out there to make sure that the Bullet Club OG aren't gonna get up to any mischief. But then they win them anyway. So now they're champions. Now they're champions in your own company, and you didn't want them to be. So it was just done really well.
There was a funny part of this, because it was the Tongans versus Bullet Club. So it was all in English. I don't think the Japanese fans had any idea what was going on.
No.
Until they announced it in Japanese.
Yeah.
It was a few minutes after it was announced the title match that they announced it in Japanese, and everyone went, ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. It was it was really cool. Although at the stadium they had an announcer do it in English, do announcements in English, and then they had the original Japanese ring announcer.
Yeah.
The other English guy, he wasn't needed, and also he was shit.
Oh, he was bad on some nights.
He was just so when you've got the other Japanese ring announcer, who I don't know the name of, but his announcing style is also it's really good, but it's really clever because he puts the same emphasis on everyone's name, and it makes everyone feel on the same level.
Yeah.
Whereas some superstars you feel in WWE, they get preferential treatment because of how big they are or whatever. But every single person gets the same for it, and it's quite clever.
There was I think it was night probably 17, the A block final. It was an elite match with Kenny and the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
In a 6-man tag, and the Japanese English announcer, he announced it was the IWGP.
Oh God.
Champion, and they're like Kenny Omega.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, this is your world champion, and you can't be asked to announce it.
Yeah, he was rubbish. But That's my moan out the way. We
What about the few negative things we've said on this podcast?
Yeah, that is, and it's about the ring announcer, which I'm always going to probably have a dig at anyway, being one myself. But I like that they got the belts and they instantly just threw them away.
Yeah.
They threw them. They didn't just place them. They didn't refuse them. They threw them. So disrespectful. But it plays into what they do perfectly.
And it keeps Tama and the Tongans strong.
Yeah, absolutely. We then got a nice look at the Wrestle Kingdom 13 logo.
Oh, not bad.
It was, it's nice and blue. It's all right. Next was Suzuki-gun versus LIJ. It was a bit mental.
I think I skipped it, but I remember seeing Iozuka and just thinking, well, this match is going to be a bit crazy fight.
Yeah, exactly. LIJ won. There's not much else to really cover.
Is this the one that Taichi pinned Yoshihashi?
The what?
Is this the match where Taichi pinned Yoshihashi?
I think so.
And it was like, this proves that Taichi should have been in the G1 all along.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's like, that was quite a nice touch.
To be fair, I'd have liked Taichi to have been it because I would have seen his misses a bit more often.
That's true. His pants are especially tiny today.
Who?
When he whips off his pants and reveals the trunks, I think he's gone with a size smaller than usual.
Oh, right. He's just feeling particularly confident. Next up was Chaos versus Bullet Club. And I've never been happier to see Takahashi in my life. Because he brought Peter with him.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
I do love a good Yujiro Takahashi entrance.
He is, you can be on my screen more often, Sunshine, if you're bringing ladies like that to the ring.
I heard she's going out with Bad Luck Fale. I don't know how true that is.
Oh my god. Well, there's no chance I'm going... She'd be destroyed. There's no chance I'm going near her now.
Yeah, that is a mismatch.
Oh dear. I mean, fair play to Farley, but... But yeah, after this match, this is where Ishii laid down the law, and it looks like we're getting Kenny versus Ishii for the belt.
Can't wait.
Absolutely. Next up, there was a 6-man tag team match, and Kushida come out. I was like, oh no, we got some random guy who, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't actually know who that is.
Well, they were playing onto it that he was stealing someone's moveset, so I assume it is somebody else, and it's a relatively famous Japanese wrestler who has just donned this new gimmick.
Well, when they first showed the screen, the preview for the match, I thought it was Raisuke Taguchi from Taguchi Japan in some random costume. I think
it was,
But then he came out and I was like, no, he doesn't really look like Taguchi.
All right.
But when I first saw him and the weird entrance video that played before he came out, I genuinely thought it was him in some. Because he's dressed up as a horse before for a few weeks.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think it is Taguchi, because they were saying he's robbed his moveset and stuff like that, and he's doing hip attacks.
Did he do a hip attack?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Then it was probably Taguchi.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's Taguchi come out, and I was like, and then Kushida come out. I was like, oh yeah, sick. And then they shook hands, and I was like, oh okay, this will be a tag match then. And then then it zooms up to the ring and there's this neon, and it's like this guy's in bright white. I'm like, who the fuck's this? And he takes his hood. I was like, holy shit, it's Rey Mysterio! Because as I said, I had no idea that this was happening. I was like, oh, this is boss. And then the next thing, Sho and Yo come out, and Rainmaker Okada come out. With his
cloak back.
Yes, the cloak was back. The pants were back.
But on a sad note, have you heard the sad note relating to Okada?
He's got rid of Gedo, hasn't he?
Gedo is no longer his manager.
Oh.
6.5 years we've been together.
Oh, it's a new era. God, first Yujiro, now this.
Oh, they banned balloons at Budokan.
I know. Can people not have fun? Is that not the point?
He came around the commentary and he was like, Rocky, where are my balloons?
I know. Oh, God, Okada. But, yeah, we got Rey Mysterio and Kushida on the same team. and it was the closest thing we'll ever get to Okada versus Rey Mysterio. Oh my god!
Yeah,
it was brilliant, but it was really clever the way they did it. They had a little bit of a thing, like a start off, and then they tagged out, and then they got back in together, and it was sort of like what would have happened towards the end of a match. So they just sort of skipped the middle feeling out process and just went straight to the good stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was really cool. And
Ray picked up the win.
And yeah, absolutely. Picked up the win. It was really, really cool. Just nice to see Ray again.
Yeah.
Who hasn't missed a beat and is somehow getting better with age.
Because he came to Japan with the notion of wanting to face Liger.
Yes.
And I imagine if he's still taking bookings and he still wants to do it, I imagine he can do it now.
I would imagine, I imagine that's going to happen somewhere down the line. It may even happen at Wrestle Kingdom.
I was thinking that. I don't know what his thing with. Doesn't he have a WWE contract, or is that just a case of he can do what he likes and he can go there whenever?
I think it's a case of he can do what he likes. I think it was only a one-off thing for the Rumble. That was last time he was there, wasn't it? So
in which case he might just keep it for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. Or put it on the thingy show with the Super Show with ROH.
At Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, man.
That'd be amazing.
Wouldn't it just? So we come to our G1 final. Tanahashi against Ibushi. And Ibushi comes down. Kenny's in his corner. It's like, oh, that's nice. Tanahashi comes down. Who's in his fucking corner? Shibata.
I didn't see it at first. I was like kind of just watching it, and like someone was on the apron letting Tanahashi into the ring, and I went, "Hang on, was that Shibata?" So I like rewound it. And I was like, "What the frick is he doing here?" And
then it clicked onto people, and then people clicked onto it, and they showed him again on the screen, and everyone just went mental.
I saw a tweet this afternoon, and it was something like, Katsuyori Shibata is like Christmas. He comes around once a year and he fills everyone with hope and happiness and peace.
Oh, so true. Oh, Shibata. Please come back soon. We miss you. If come back at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might be done. I think he's now the head trainer at the LA Dojo.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Fair. But this match was awesome.
Yeah.
Brilliant. A fitting end to this G1. It was just, Ibushi hit the moonsault knee stomp again.
Yeah, this time on purpose, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. This is when you knew that's like, okay, that's a new move. That's cool. I just can't sing this. I can't. I risk. I'm just repeating myself at this point. You know what? I'm gonna give a classic Kieran Moran adjective. It was amazing. It really was. And Tanahashi wins his third G1.
I had a feeling he would. Like when this is the final, I thought Tanahashi's gonna win this because they wouldn't do Ibushi and Omega at the Dome, having just had the match.
Yeah.
So I thought Tanahashi's most likely to win this because Tanahashi and Omega have never had a full feud. They were meant to, but Tanahashi got injured. So they only had the one match. And
I'm pretty sure that I called it in reverse. I said that Omega would win the G1 and call out Tanahashi.
Yeah.
But now it seems that we're getting that match anyway, which is probably the smartest thing to do. Because as I said, as I put it back then, like Omega has faced and beaten so many people to get to this title, and now he's got to beat the Ace to prove his worth.
Mm-hmm.
So that. Any final comments on this match?
I'm just having a quick look because, because Tanahashi's now won the G1, but he lost one match on the way. He lost to Jay White.
Okay.
So Jay White can if he so wishes, and it's Jay White, so I imagine he will, challenge Tanahashi for the main event of the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that was a stipulation.
Yeah, if he beats the G1 winner, then you can challenge him for that contract.
That's amazing. So, which I imagine Jay White will.
Yeah.
Because it's Jay White. So that's very interesting.
I still think Tanner will beat Jay White, but that's something...
That is a spanner in the works.
Definitely wrong with, that Jay White beat the G1 winner.
Well,
and, yeah, it's Jay White, so that is definitely a storyline that's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go. That is the G1 28. So we're just going to quickly end on a small version of the marquees.
The G1 marquees.
Yeah, the G1 marquees. So give me your underdog, your most surprising performer.
For that one, I think I would absolutely have to go with Sonata.
I would agree.
Because, like we said, he was someone you just thought he'd be middle of the pack, and that's where he finished. But in terms of did he have great matches with everyone? Absolutely, he did. He really impressed me, and I'd look forward to more Sonata matches.
I agree.
In the future now.
Absolutely agree. Give me your best match.
Oh, that's a bit tough. You can go first on that one.
Mine.
Short list.
My best match would be probably would have to be Omega Ibushi.
Right.
Would have to be closely followed by Ibushi Ishii and Ibushi Sabre Jr. and probably Sabre Jr. Sonata as well. Actually,
I think I would go best match Ishii versus Omega.
Yeah.
But then I also have Ishii Naito was brilliant. Ishii Goto was brilliant. Ishii Ibushi was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And I for a long time, I would say Kenny Omega versus Tetsuya Naito was my favourite match of the tournament.
Yeah, fair play.
I'd go Ishii Omega overall.
Fair play. All right, give me, just to round it off, give me your G1 28 MVP.
Well, I think we've discussed this not on a podcast, but just generally, and it's even been said on commentary, but I think Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Ishii was just on another level this year, and is getting a title shot.
Most nights.
Yeah.
Like versus Naito, Goto, Ibushi, Omega.
Yeah.
I even like this match with Yano because they're a long time tag team, Ishii and Yano.
Mm.
And like Ishii started doing more Yano stuff, going for low blows and removing turnbuckle pads.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's that, and it will be very interesting to see where this takes us going forward. In regards to everything regarding Wrestle Kingdom, there's so much going on for New Japan right now. One thing I want to know is where the fuck is Chris Jericho coming back into all of this?
That's true.
Like, where? He is the Intercontinental Champion. It's the biggest belt that was missing from this year's G1, and you could feel it.
Yeah, it was kind of noticeable.
So it's going to be weird when it comes back in.
September, the Destruction Tour, which you might appear at, but then in early October you'll have King of Pro Wrestling, and that's always a big show. That's probably where Jay White will face
Tanahashi.
King of Pro Wrestling, yeah, is where everything's set for the Tokyo Dome, so that's where Jay White will face Tanahashi if that happens. And it's also where Ishii will face Omega for the title.
Fair enough. And I imagine it'll be wherever Jericho come back in and either face someone for the belt or will set up a match for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
Amazing.
And also, not G1 related, but we mentioned him before, Hiromu.
Yes.
He's out for maybe a year, but he's still junior heavyweight champion.
Oh, of course.
So I think it's been said that they've waited for the G1 to finish, but I imagine probably in the next week we'll get news on that.
So they'll probably vacate it, have a tournament or something?
I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
Oh, well, brilliant. Anything that's got Marty Scurll and Will Ospreay in, I'm game.
Kushida.
Yeah.
Ray, if he wants in.
Oh my God! Stop it. Right. And on that note, because we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes at this point.
It's been a long one.
It has. Thank you for sticking with us, folks. The more New Japan that we can cover, we will. I'm genuinely enjoying New Japan way more than I am WWE right now. I'm enjoying anything else that isn't WWE right now. Actually, that's a lie because I'm enjoying NXT. Anything that isn't the main show.
It's just nice for something different. Different that's good, different.
It's amazingly different. Like, it makes me really sad that people like AJ and Balor and Shinsuke are in WWE right now. Can you imagine New Japan's roster if they didn't have 1-year deals back then?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they'd have kept hold of all this amazing talent and just how incredible it would now be, especially with Shinsuke in there. Can you imagine the match Shinsuke and Kenny could have?
Oh, I don't want to.
No, it makes you sad, doesn't it? Anyway, sorry to put that one in your head, folks. But there's plenty of dream match that can happen, and who knows, Shinsuke may end up going back to New Japan at some point. He may see the light once more. But anyway, as we said, thank you for listening. We appreciate it's been a long one. Let us know your feedback. Did you enjoy the G1? What was your favourite match? Do you agree with what we've said? Do you not? Is there any matches that we've missed out that we should go back and watch? Let us know. Get in touch. And we still need a name for this fucking show.
Didn't we have like the raid markers or something?
Oh, that's awful. Come on. We know that's bad. We can do better than that.
We've had 8 months.
We have had 8 months to think about this. Well, actually, no, we've had a month since the last podcast came out, which we decided we should make this a new... Anyway, if you can think of a better name...
It's been 8 months, and yet the best we still have is New Japan Special.
New Japan, and A Few Good Marks New Japan Special. If you can think of anything better than A Few Good Marks New Japan Special or The Rain Markers... Get in touch, let us know, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. Mind you, if you're subscribing to us, that's what you're doing on YouTube. I always do that. Anyway.
President Podcast.
Yeah, and please give us a name for this podcast. We need something so bad. Thank you for listening, folks. We'll catch you again soon. Bye-bye for now.